to the Unstoppable Stories Show with Terrence Leftridge, where we talk to ordinary people with unstoppable stories. Now, here's your host, life accountability coach, Terrence Leftridge. Hey, it is an unstoppable day. How you guys doing? It's your boy, Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Leftridge, and you're here with another special episode of the Unstoppable Stories Show, where we talk to ordinary people with unstoppable stories. And it's the gratitude edition, the 24 days of gratitude here on the Unstoppable Story Show, where each and every day we focus on something to be grateful for, something to be thankful for, in the hopes that you who are watching us either live or watching us in the replay will take a second, take a minute, or even take an hour out of your day to concentrate and to focus on the things that you're grateful for in your life. We're not trying to sell you anything this month. We're just trying to sell you on the possibilities, sell you on the ideal of gratitude, what it can do for you in your life if you take on an attitude of gratitude. I am so excited that you guys have been tuning in with us. So come on in, swipe and share, as some of you have already started to do. Welcome. Arlene Collins, she is joining us in the group. Hello, my sister. She says, hello, my brother. So welcome. Come on in, swipe and share as we wind down to Thanksgiving, y'all. Yes, tomorrow is Thanksgiving 2019. And I thank each and every one of you, and I'm grateful to each and every one of you who have followed us throughout these 24 days of gratitude, who have shared their comments, and who have even been bold enough to come on to the show, come on screen live, and talk about what you're thankful or grateful for. You know, Thanksgiving is something that started back with the Pilgrims back in 1621, between their relationships with the Indians, the American Indians at that time. And it was a celebration of the harvest, and it was a celebration of relationships, and it was a celebration of welcoming people to a new land, giving of their land, giving thanks for their relationship, giving thanks for what they had been able to accomplish together, and giving thanks for family as well. And that has spread and continued year after year after year to now that it's being recognized as a national holiday, the fourth Thursday of every month here in the United States. And I just found out in just doing research about Thanksgiving that it's also celebrated in Canada on the second Monday in October. So Thanksgiving is celebrated in different ways in different places, but the message is the same. Attitude of gratitude and a feeling of thankfulness for what you have, as opposed to focusing on what you have not. And we have another guest with us here this evening that's going to share their gratitude story with you. And I'm so glad that my BBS family, my Black Belt Speaker family, they have shown up and showed out this past week. I put the call out to people to come on and share their stories live on the Unstoppable Stories Show. And we have definitely had people come and do that. And tonight is no different. I got another BBS sister from another mother that is on the show tonight, all the way from St. Louis, Missouri, doing big things down there with her speaking and her ministry. And we just want to bring her on to the show so that she can share her gratitude story. So let's welcome to the Unstoppable Story Show, my friend, my BBS sister, Monique Turner. Monique, are you on the broadcast? Okay, hold on. Let me unmute you. Go ahead. Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Yep. Hey, how are you doing today, Terrence?
I am absolutely fabulous. Thank you. How are you?
Fantastic. And I just have to make one correction. It's actually Monique Tucker. But it's all good,
I knew
brother.
that. You know what? I know. I do that to you all the time. But that's for that joke that you did off the air. That's what that's for. That's payback.
That's all
So
right. I'll take it.
Monique Tucker is with us.
Yeah.
She's with us here on the Unstoppable Stories Show, and she's talking about gratitude. So, Monique, why don't you take a second and just introduce yourself? Because this is your first time on the Unstoppable Stories Show, right?
Yes, it is. So I am
Take a
Monique Royal.
second to introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Sure. I am the fabulous Monique Tucker, and I am founder of Living Life Loud Now. And what I want to share today is my attitude of gratitude. I'm so incredibly thankful for another day. I'm specifically thankful for this day and this Thanksgiving. What people don't know, unless they're in my family or in my community where they have seen me, was on February the 7th, I was involved in a car accident that had the potential to end my life. And I just cannot even tell you that as I embarked on what was the longest healing journey, um, spiritually, physically, emotionally, psychologically, it really caused me to sit in the space of just being thankful. I was on my way to work, and it was still dark out. I left the house about 6:30, and it was raining outside, and a car hit me, and my car hydroplaned and spun in the middle of the highway in a 360-degree spin, and I was hit two additional times. Now, what I can tell you is that God and I had an encounter in that moment, but I was thinking about my family. I was thinking about my daughter. And most importantly, I was thinking about the call that God had on my life. And what I remember as I was communicating with him, and you never realize how a flash happens in the moment, how your life flashes literally before your eyes. But I was just saying, God, this can't be the way that my life ends. I'm just embarking seriously
Mm.
on my journey with my calling as a speaker, and what I have since discovered is, and even God let me know that He allowed me to live. He allowed me because it could have been over. I mean, I was hit three times,
Wow.
um,
Mm.
and it could have been over.
Yeah.
And I was thankful in the moment because literally I didn't feel the pain till about 48 hours later. So when I was able to gain control of my car and pull it over to the side of the road before it died, I mean, literally it died, I began to praise God. And I began to praise Him in a way because I understand the magnitude of where, like, that could have been it. He could have been like, Monique, your story is done.
Yeah.
Lights
Yeah.
out for you. But as I was in the midst of my car spinning and calling out to him and communicating with him, he let me know that I was going to not only live that day and make it through, but I was going to celebrate my 45th birthday, which I just did on Sunday. And I'll
Mm.
see tomorrow on I will celebrate tomorrow Thanksgiving as well. And there's just so much, Terrence, so much that I'm grateful. When the pain started to hit in, I went from walking normal to literally as slow as a turtle. I had to begin treatment. I started out with one medical professional and ultimately ended up with three. And I was in treatment and going to work every day, but Fridays and Sundays for several months. And I was in the midst of planning an event. And what kept me focused was that God had called me to transform the lives of the people that He has sent me. My mission is to empower, inspire, and transform the lives of women specifically. And I was determined to heal, not only so that I could share my testimony at my conference, but so that I could represent fully the complete healing of what God has done in my life. He's not just transformed me physically, He's transformed me spiritually. I was hit that day, and my life has never been never been the same. I have forgiven people that I ever had grudges from. And I'm so grateful because I've been reconnected with those that I have been in touch with been out of touch with for some time. And so, yeah, I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful that I can put my clothes on without pain. I'm grateful that I can touch my toes because there was a day that I couldn't. I'm grateful that I can see. I'm grateful that I can hear. I'm grateful that I can finally get in the car and I'm not having
Yes.
flashbacks from
Yes.
post traumatic stress
Yes.
from my accident. So
Yes.
when I tell you this
Yes.
Thanksgiving season, be so grateful for your life. Be grateful for the people in it. Be grateful for the journey that God is taking you on because this ride is wild and you never can anticipate what path you're going to go to. But at the end of the day, everything is about God and His glory and gratitude.
Oh my God, look at that. Look at y'all. I told y'all that this was gonna be a show. I told you that these 24 days of gratitude is that we were gonna bring some things out that you really needed to hear. And I had no idea, Monique, that happened. And I think now we actually have a deeper bond because I
Yeah.
had that same accident on Halloween. I had that same, I was driving my Black Betty. People who watch the show, they know the story. Black Betty, my truck hit some black ice and then I almost blacked out because I spun out and then I hit another truck and luckily nobody was in that car and I was able to get out of my car and walk away from it and was even able to drive the old raggedy truck home. And so I understand what you're talking about. I understand that defining moment that you
Yes.
had, that moment with God where you was wondering whether this was it. This
Yeah.
is this the end? You was probably
Yeah.
singing the Jackson song, "Is this the end?" Because that was me. The spinning only happened a couple of seconds, but it felt like it was a lifetime as it happened.
Absolutely.
And but you God gives us, each and every one of us, our defining moments so that we can take that moment to really look back over our lives, look
Yeah.
at our lives where we are right then and there, and then decide what we're going to do going forward. And looks like you made amends since that accident. You
Absolutely.
you have a new intestinal fortitude and a new
Yeah.
intention since that
Yeah.
accident. You've done some great things since that accident, and you got a testimony, then that's for sure. I thought you was about to get up
Indeed.
and do a praise dance for a second.
You know what? And I ain't shy. I am not
Okay.
shy when it comes to that because I'm just so grateful as I sit and even share the story. Just no one can ever imagine what that situation is like unless they're faced with it. But I don't get stuck there. Like I said, it's about giving God praise, it's about giving Him the honor that He truly deserves because you know what? We get so caught up in life and sometimes we're on autopilot and we just get up thinking, you know what, same routine. I'm going to get up, go to work, and go, feed the dog, and come home and go to the gym. When we don't know in that moment we have one of those as you call it defining moments that changes the trajectory of our life. You have to stop sleeping on your life. God has allowed you, if He allows you to put your feet on the floor
Hmm.
day in and day out, you started out with praise. What I want to share too was just in that because people don't get it. And I'm just full right now. So I just have to talk if you just allow me.
Go
But
ahead.
literally, when I would while I was on my healing journey, I started my day out at 1,000 milligrams. And by the time the day was done, I was at 3,000. And the doctor was like, "You are going to destroy your kidneys." But the level of pain that my body hurt, I cannot even tell you. It hurt to sit more than 45 minutes. So when I talk about being grateful about the use of my limbs, when I talk about being able to pick up things off the floor, when I talk about being able to hug my daughter without being in pain, these people, these ladies and gentlemen, or what I want you to understand, be grateful for the simple things. You don't appreciate the simple things until you lose the ability to be able to do them on your own. And we take so much for granted because we just automatically assume that we're going to see the next day. We just automatically assume that everything is going to go as smoothly until something happens. And then when that something happens and we are forced to deal with situations that we have never ever in life experienced, that's when we have to learn how to cope and do a new routine and look to God to help us to do the unimaginable. And so I'm sorry I keep going on and on about this, but my
No,
heart is
no, no,
passionate about it, and I just have to speak about it because there's somebody that is watching, there is somebody that is listening, that you find yourself, stuck in a situation and you don't know how to get out of it, and you're just feeling like, God, where am I? But I'm telling you right now that God is with you in that situation. And I didn't even plan this, so we're going to roll with it if you just allow me. God
let
is
it go,
telling
let
you
it go.
He is right there with you right now, right in the midst of that pit of hell that you are feeling and experiencing. He's with you and He is going to see you through it, and you are going to overcome. I live my life by this acronym. It's called ROAR. And the first is ride or die. After my accident, I was determined that I was going all in on my calling, ride or die. It's like that no matter what happens, no matter how I'm feeling, no matter, if I have a migraine and I'm asked to speak, or I have to, go before my church group or doing this call, I'm riding and dying for my calling. O is for overcoming the obstacles. Whoever it is that's facing something in the pit of hell, Heavenly Father, that they're going through right now, you give them the power, your power to overcome that obstacle so that you can receive the glory. And then I want to tell people, act in faith. Every day I had to act in faith. I didn't know when my complete healing was going to happen. You don't know when your complete healing is going to happen, that transformation in your life, but you just have to act in faith. Faith without works is dead. That's biblical. And so you just have to keep moving. And then the final thing is refuse to quit. Things are going to be hard. Some days are going to feel ugly. Some days you want to give up. Trust me, I know. In the midst of, being able to be being able to speak in gratitude, there are moments where it's hard. Every now and then my back still hurts, but I just refuse to quit because I understand the calling in my life. God has a calling on your life, my sister or my brother that I'm speaking to right now. Okay, Terrence, I'm sorry, I'm going to stop because I feel like I'm going to take over the show here in a minute. Go ahead.
Oh, that is not a problem. And we are not ashamed to talk about God on this show. We're not ashamed to talk about what He has done for us. So you know what? You wanted to make sure we heard that you got all up in the mic, all up in the mic. So thank you. Thank you for your roar. Thank you for
Yes,
sharing that acronym with us. Thank you I thank God for giving you that defining moment. Now that might
yes,
sound crazy because God had to send you through something to get to
yes,
that defining moment. But that's just how our God works. He is an unstoppable God. And you know what? You
yes,
were probably stuck in just mediocrity before that accident happened. You might have been stuck in just average before that accident happened. But that defining moment took you from being stuck to you being unstoppable. Look, you're trying to stop yourself, but the testimony keeps going on and on and on and on because it's an unstoppable testimony of the
yes,
goodness of God. So you should be grateful. You should be
yes,
thankful. And you should be bursting at the seams wanting to tell this story. So
yes,
no problem whatsoever. And you guys, if you have ever met this woman in person, the one thing I love about Monique is Monique gives the best hugs in the world. And I've
thank
told her
you.
that. And to now visualize what happened because she's given me a hug. She gave me a hug in October when I saw her in Kansas City, and I
Yes,
had no idea about the accident in February. And
yes,
and as I sit here and I think about it, I think about what a shame it would have been for me personally. And yeah, I'm being selfish. What a shame it would have been for me personally to never ever have the opportunity to get a hug, to receive a hug from Monique again because of
yes,
what could. have happened in that
Yeah.
accident. But
Yeah.
God, but
Yeah.
God, God
But God.
knew, God knew that He gave you blessed hugs and that you still
Yeah.
need people that needed your hug, not only your physical hug, but your spiritual hug. And that's what you just gave us through your testimony. You gave us a spiritual hug to let us know to stop taking life for granted. You know,
Yeah.
we got another brother in BBS, Jeff Martinet, that talks about making every second count. And
Yes.
until we have a defining moment like that, maybe your defining moment isn't going to be a car accident. Maybe your defining moment is going to be a loss of a loved one. Maybe your
Yeah.
defining moment is going to be a loss of a job. Maybe your defining moment is going to have to be unexpected career change. But until you have that defining moment, we're all human, and you
Yeah.
probably will watch this show and then have a new realization of all the things that you've been taking for granted. Monique
Yeah.
said it earlier. She doesn't take her putting her feet on the floor for granted anymore. She doesn't take her being able to walk without pain for granted anymore. She doesn't take the fact that she has all her senses and she was able to walk away from something that many people never have walked away from.
Yes.
And to be grateful and to be thankful. We're grateful and we're thankful to God that He kept you so that
Yeah.
you could fulfill the purpose that you were created to fulfill. Because He ain't done with you yet, Monique.
You
Clearly,
still ain't.
he ain't done with you yet. And I'm just glad that He gave you the intention to reach out to me and ask if you could share this phenomenal gratitude story this
Yeah.
evening on the eve of Thanksgiving. You got a lot to be thankful for. Yes, you do.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Man, oh man, oh man. So now what do you want to say to people that may be taking things for granted on Thanksgiving?
You know what? Life is too short. We all have trials and tribulations. We all have things that we wish would be different, whether it be a relationship or, a job. Life is too short. But you have every day that you can put your feet on the floor, you have the opportunity to choose to begin again. I've got this book that I just finished getting the graphics done for, defining life on your own terms. Each of us defines, we have the ability, if we give ourselves permission, to define life on our own terms. You have the ability to choose how you want to spend your day. You have the ability to choose who you want to love. You have the ability to choose how you want to live your life and share your calling with the world. And each day that God gives you that opportunity, seize it, because you never know when it will be your last.
I love it. I love it. So is that a book of your own that you have coming out real soon?
Yes, yes, I
Okay.
am in the final stages of getting it done, but defining life on your own terms is my baby, and I've put my whole heart and soul into it.
And it sounds like it's going to be a phenomenal book. We definitely want you to come back on the show when you're getting ready to launch that book and have you as part of our Unstoppable Authors Showcase. I would love to help you showcase that book when it comes out in 2020. But someone has heard your testimony this evening, Monique, and they want to reach out to you. They want to talk to you. They want to pray over you. They want to have a closer relationship with you. What's the best way for anyone who's going to watch this live or watching it in replay? What's the best way to reach out to Monique Tucker?
Currently, I am on Facebook. You can look me up under Monique C. Tucker or Monique Royal Tucker. I am having some page work done. And so eventually there will be a website, but right now you can hit me up at Monique C. Tucker or Monique Royal Tucker.
That is fabulous. Thank you so much, Monique. I appreciate you. I really love you, plus all of our guests that have come on during these
Yeah.
24 days of gratitude. I am grateful that you are still here. I'm
Thank
grateful
you.
that you're still able to smile through all this. I'm grateful
Yes.
that I'm still going to get some hugs the next time I see you.
Yes.
And
It'll be soon too.
okay, absolutely. And I am grateful for what God has in store for you. So thank you so much for sharing your gratitude story on the Unstoppable Stories Show. Okay.
Thank you, Terrence. Have a wonderful evening.
You too, and a happy Thanksgiving. You guys,
Happy
that
Thanksgiving.
is that is Monique C. Tucker on the Unstoppable Story Show. 24 days of gratitude. 24 days of gratitude. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us again this evening, Monique. And thank you guys out there in the internet land, my Unstoppable Stories family. Thank you for always showing up, for always participating, for always putting your comments out there. Be sure to follow Monique on Facebook, Monique C. Tucker or Monique Royal Tucker on Facebook, and be on the lookout for her book. Arlene put it on there, Define Life on My Own Terms, coming out sometime in 2020. We'll make sure we have her back on the show. But you guys, the definition of Thanksgiving, and Monique just really paraphrased it so well, is the act of giving thanks, grateful acknowledgement of benefits or favors. Watch that. Grateful acknowledgement of benefits or favors, especially to God. An expression of thanks, especially to God. A public celebration of acknowledgement, especially to God. I want y'all to get that. God has given us benefits. And you know what? Someone asked me before if my show was just mostly Christian or religious based. No, 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 no. But we are not afraid of the gospel of Jesus Christ. We are not afraid to say his name. But this applies to everybody, whether you are a believer or not. In your life, you have been given favor, whether you believe it's from God or whatever. You have been given benefits at some point in your life, benefits that probably are outweighing the things that you haven't received or the things that you want that you haven't gotten yet. You have been given favor that ain't fair in your life for no reason but the fact that the Creator is looking down on you. Now more than ever is the time for you to be grateful and to be thankful. I encourage you to think about one thing this season that you are grateful for and thank God for that. Trust and believe. If you thank Him for the things that He's already given you, He will do more in your life and He will pour out a blessing that you won't have room to contain. It's biblical, it's spiritual, and it is real. Monique just testified to it. Could have took her away just like that, but there was favor over her life. And now, because of that defining moment, she is intentional in doing even more with her life. She's intentional in making every second count. Same way with me. I am intentional in helping people move from being stuck into being unstoppable and into living the life that they were created to live. Because I know each and every one of us was created with a purpose. And that in by itself is something to be thankful for. So, you guys, as you are sitting at your table, hopefully with family and friends tomorrow, and you are breaking bread and you're breaking turkey legs, and you might be slicing some ham and you're eating on that potato salad, and you got that mashed potato and gravy, and you got that uh, peach cobbler, and you got that sweet potato pie. Take a second, unleash that waistband, untie those strings, let the belt go, and just say, thank you, God, for all that you have done for me. And you guys, we will see you next time on the Unstoppable Story Show, where we talk to ordinary people with unstoppable stories. And I truly thank you and I wish this upon you, that wherever you are in this mighty big world today, go out, be grateful, be thankful, and don't just make it a great day, make it an unstoppable day. Take care.